Hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to week 6, full moon in Scorpio. I am trying to understand if the internet is working all right. And I think it does, at least on my side for recording and for being live. Okay, so let's get into it. Full moon in Scorpio this week. It's a big week. There are a lot of things to talk about. And I want to take them step by step. Right now, the moon is in Libra, and the last time she was full, she was in Libra. So if these days we might have maybe themes from last month's full moon coming back to be revisited or integrated or listened to or looked at, it is normal. The moon is again in Libra, preparing to be full. And one of the things that I was looking at the astrology of this week, which was interesting for me to see, it was that so there are like 3 types of signs in the zodiac. We have cardinal signs, which are the signs that usually begin a season. We have the fixed signs, which are the signs that build on what was initiated and adapted to their own needs. And then we have the mutable signs, which are like the editors of the zodiac, is the ones that take in what was initiated, what was built on, and look at the last details, fix it, twitch it, make sure it's right, and they launch it to the world. These are the mutable or the editor signs. And then this week, and these signs in the wheel of the zodiac, they fall at 90 degrees from each other, meaning that all cardinal signs are going to form a cross, all fixed signs, all mutable signs are placed in a cross across the wheel of the zodiac. So 90 degrees in between all of them, which can make tense aspects. 90 degrees in astrology, it's a tense aspect. It's that kind of aspect that is not necessarily easy to swallow, but it will bring great benefits. It's great medicine. So right now, if we are looking at all the cardinal signs in the zodiac, we have Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, the sign that begins spring. And in Aries, we have Chiron and Black Moon Lilith right now. So the energy of the Ram is activated by the wounded healer, the Chiron, and the dark face of the feminine, Lilith. Then the second cardinal sign, it's Cancer. There's nothing going on there for now. Then the third cardinal sign, it's Libra. It's where the moon is right now, opposing Aries. And the fourth cardinal sign, it's Capricorn. And in Capricorn, we have Jupiter and Pluto. So in my own reading, we have this T square. So it's not the cross. We are not being pulled in 4 directions. We are being pulled in 3 directions, 2 90 degrees sign and 1 opposition. And the way that I see it is Aries as the fire masculine initiator force is hosting Chiron and Black Moon Lilith. So there is a lot to heal when it comes to our masculinity and to our own individual self. And maybe I can say here, how is it that we are looking at our masculine energy and also Lilith, Black Moon Lilith is there. So the feminine also comes into conversation here, and I see it very internally. It's about us remembering we are made of masculine and feminine, and we are wounded in both these energies by the fact of being human, not necessarily that we are victims, that somebody hurt us, but we are coming here in a human body, and we come with all different kinds of wounds, trauma, programming. So Chiron and Black Moon Lilith in Aries, they are asking us to look at ourselves, look at our individual self, and heal. Then the moon is in Libra, and she's pulling into the other direction, which is the direction of relationships. How are you managing all the relationships in your life, knowing that you have to heal yourself, and maybe the people that are in your life also are going through their own process of healing, of self-discovery, of self-awakening. And then making the T, it's the cardinal sign Capricorn, which comes with the force of Jupiter, making everything bigger for us to see it clearly. And they're together with Pluto, right? So it's bringing things from the underworld, from our subconscious mind, making it bigger, seeing it, and asking us to look at our own selves and the relationships that we have. This is what's happening in the cardinal front. Then we move towards fixed signs. And fixed signs, we have Taurus. And right now in Taurus, we have Uranus and Mercury and the Sun. So Taurus is very active at this moment. Then the next fixed sign, it's Leo. Nothing happening in Leo at the moment. The third fixed sign, it's Scorpio, where we are going to have the full moon. We are going to activate this axis of Taurus and Scorpio this week. And the last fixed sign, it's Aquarius. So for me here, the conversation is about Taurus self-sufficiency and self-pleasure. What do I like to do in life, and how I can become self-sustainable? And having Mercury there really conjunct with Uranus right now, they are forming their exact conjunction, Sun and Mercury, and Uranus is standing close. For me, it's really thinking about what are the messages that I am receiving right now from life, from my intuition, from others, from the divine, related to my own sufficiency here on earth, my own sustainability, my own primordial needs. And then we take it to the full moon in Scorpio, opposing all this party in Taurus, and full moon in Scorpio, it's a fixed deep water that it's all about transformative emotions, and it's all about intimacy and intimate relationships. And when we talk about intimate relationships, we can talk about sexuality, intimacy, connection, money, also our money, other people's money, the money in a relationship, and death. Also a subject that goes deep, and it is related to our own survival here. Are we able to change the perspective we have on death? So I think right now, Taurus, it's coming with this question of what are the new ideas, the new ways, the innovative methods in which you can become self-sustainable, putting a lot of moonlight on intimate relationships, whatever that means. It can be with other people or it can be with things. So those things or people that are very close to us, are we being able to be self-sufficient in an intimate relationship with somebody or with something else? And then we have the fourth in this case, or the last fixed sign, which is Aquarius. So making the T in the fixed signs, that is hosting Saturn and Mars. So from me, my needs of self-surviving towards the needs in a relationship, and self-sufficiency in a relationship towards Aquarius, which is the needs, the ways, the methods that we look at the whole humanity as an organism. What are our collective needs? How is the way that we become more self-sustainable, more self-sufficient here on this earth as humanity, as a global consciousness, as a one organism that is moving, eating, and making their survival on the surface of the earth. So this is another T that is activated, and then we go to the mutable signs. And in mutable signs, right now, the first mutable sign, it's Gemini, the air, all about the ideas and communication, and that's where we have Venus right now. Even if she's preparing to go retrograde, she's not retrograde yet. And Venus in Gemini brings this beauty and abundance to ideas, to communication, and to perspectives, and to learning new things. And then the second mutable sign, it's Virgo, nothing happening there. The third mutable sign is Sagittarius, and in Sagittarius, the moon is going to go during the weekend. So she's going to activate that part of our chart. And for me, it's going to be all about our truth, our higher meaning here in our life. But then we need to feel it. We need to feel what's our own truth. How does it feel to actually be connected with the divine? How does it actually feel to go beyond our own limited perspectives and open our minds beyond what we know as reality here on this earth, on this plane? And then if we go on through the journey of mutable signs, the last mutable sign, it's Pisces, and Pisces is hosting Neptune for a long time already. And Neptune is a slow-moving planet and is going to be in Pisces for still some years. Nevertheless, it's again a T-square being completed by this energy that is bringing us all together. We are all one. We can envision and dream about being all one, being one with the divine, being one with each other, and living in complete harmony. So this is the T that I think it's pulling us in the direction of thinking and new perspective, and discovering and communicating and finding beauty and meaning in the way we communicate and discover and learn, being pulled by our emotions, and the moon saying, but I need to feel. When I find my truth, I need to feel what's my truth. I need to be fully in with my heart when I go beyond my perspectives, and being pulled into the unity of it all. So this is a little bit to say that this week, with Moon being in Libra right now, being in Scorpio, starting with Wednesday and Thursday, we have Moon in Scorpio, and the full moon is going to be on Thursday at 10:45 a.m. GMT time. And then she goes into Sagittarius. She's going to activate this 3 specific types of sign and make these aspects that we call T-square. So I think this is about the moon. It's a full moon that it's a super full moon. And it's called super full moon because it is a little bit closer to the Earth than her normal orbit. And we can see her a little bit larger, up to 30% larger in the sky. It is a moon of the spring. It's called pink moon. It's the time when the flowers are really blooming. And look what I have here today. Beautiful, beautiful rose that my niece got for me. Um, and it's a full moon. As any full moon, it's bringing us to an ending, to a completion, to a moment where of harvest. And in Scorpio, we harvest deep emotions, we harvest perspectives on intimate relationships, we harvest feelings, opinions, beliefs, patterns. We are giving the chance to look at, to harvest, and to let go, to start letting go of what we no longer need in terms of our own sexuality, in terms of our relationship to death, in terms of our relationship with power, in terms of our intimacy and most intimate relationships. So yeah, I think it's going to be an intense week. Scorpio waters are not necessarily the easiest to navigate. I do recommend a lot of self-compassion, a lot of patience in the process of observing the emotions, observing what's coming, allowing them to come, receiving them, sitting with them if necessary, writing about it, meditating, going for a run or for something that puts the blood in movement. So being able to help ourselves to process through these emotions and trusting that there are a lot of hidden treasures, a lot of lessons that are coming after all the intensity. Okay, gonna have a sip of my tea. And let's go into the meditation of this week, into the meditation of today, and see what comes. And let's close our eyes, put our feet on the ground, make sure that our back is straight but not tense, create distance in between shoulders and ears, place the hands comfortable on the thighs, on the knees, face down or face up, depending on how you feel more comfortable. Closing the eyes if they are not closed already. And immediately focus on the breath, inhaling deeply and exhaling deeply. And we can inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And as we start to relax our body, our minds more and more, I want to remind you that right now in the skies, Mercury is making his conjunction, his meeting with the Sun. If we would be able to see from the Earth, we would see a small round dot passing in front of the Sun. And actually, the technology we have today is able to capture pictures of Mercury passing in between us and the Sun. And Mercury, it's the god, the messenger god. is the messenger that was crossing the bridges in between worlds, in between the gods' worlds, gods and goddesses, the divine world and human world, delivering messages one from one side to the other. It is a planet that helps us with our mental body, ideas, perspectives, beliefs. It's a planet that helps us with our communication. And when meeting with the sun in Taurus, I believe they are starting the conversation about a sustainable earth, about basic needs, about building new structures, and about pleasure, having fun, relaxation. So we inhale deeply and we exhale. And we start picturing with our mind's eye roots coming down from our pelvic area, going down to our legs, knees, feet, finding their way into the ground. Deep roots, alive, flexible, strong roots entering the earth. And we take 3 complete cycles of breath. With every inhalation and every exhalation, we imagine and we picture, we visualize these roots getting deeper and stronger. Inhale, hold it for a bit, and exhale everything. One more, roots getting deeper. And exhale. And one more. And exhale into your roots. Knowing that you are firmly grounded, rooted in this body of your own and in this body of Mother Earth. And we can keep on visualizing that our trunk, our body, the belly, our back, our spine, our chest, our shoulders are the trunk of a tree. Our heart space being the connection in between roots and branches. And from the branches, from our shoulders, branches are rising, are stretching, finding their way towards the sky. And before we fully go into our branches, we get a sense of the trunk of the tree. Is it thin? Is it thick? Make it your own, give it a color, give it a texture, give it strength and flexibility. And let's take 3 deep cycles of breath in our hearts, in our trunks. Inhaling. And one more time, inhale. And now from this trunk, from our shoulders, from our heads, from our faces, from our necks, branches are going towards the clouds, the sky, the sun. And try to perceive how are these branches. Do they have leaves? Do they have flowers? Are they in full bloom? Are they in full green? Are they strong? Are they young? But we envision all these branches, all these leaves like antennas reaching towards the sky, reaching towards the sun, capturing light, capturing information, capturing energetic waves, capturing water from the rain, air when the wind blows. And with this picture of us becoming a tree, deeply rooted, strong in our hearts, stretched towards the sky, we are going to do several cycles of breathing, imagining that we are breathing through our branches, through our leaves, bringing the breath into our hearts, into our trunk. And when we exhale, sending the breath into our roots. Then when we inhale again, we breathe in from our roots, from the earth, bringing it into our chest, into our trunk, and exhaling it, giving it back to the branches, to the leaves, to the fruits, to the flowers. Inhale from the skies. Bring it, keep it in the heart. Exhale in the earth. Inhale from the roots. Keep it in the heart. Exhale to the sky. And let's keep this connection. Inhale from the sun, from the light, filling our hearts with light, with warmth, with new information, and exhaling it, giving it to the earth through our roots. And inhaling from the darkness of the earth, bringing it in our hearts. And exhale, giving it to the skies, to the sun, to the moon, to the clouds, making ourselves a bridge in between above and below. Inhale from above. Exhale below. Inhale from below. And exhale to above. And let's do a couple of these cycles on our own, making ourselves the bridges. Let's inhale from the branches. Keep it in our hearts. Exhale in the roots. Inhale from the roots into our heart, giving it further towards the sky. Inhaling from the sky. Passing it through us, through our hearts, and giving it to our roots. And from the roots, towards the sky. You can go back to normal breathing. And with your eyes closed, try to perceive the state of your body. Visualize for one more time strongly the tree that you are, your roots, your branches, your trunk. And bring your awareness to your heart. Connecting with love, the most powerful force that we can enter in contact with. Love that is able to build bridges between the sky, in between the earth, in between us, in between other people, us and other people. Remembering what it is to be in love with ourselves, in love with the life that has been given to us, or that we choose to live in love with every breath we take. And we bring our hands in front of our hearts in prayer position, honoring ourselves, thanking ourselves, thanking each other. And in your own time, move your hands, move your toes, stretch your body, take any movement you need. And come back to here and now. During the meditation at the end, I felt something on my nose. I think it's a small mosquito or a fly. And I was like, well, if I am meditating about being a tree, I might as well accept all the bugs that are coming. Nevertheless, I feel that my mind is very active. It is hard to come to stillness. So let me know how the meditation was for you. And let's see what are the messages. The messages that are coming for this week, for the full moon. What I keep on saying. Let me see if I can show the shuffling cards. Full moons are good for different type of intention setting. I like to work with gratitude, giving thanks and giving gratitude to what is coming into fullness. What is it that I'm harvesting? And also intentions of letting go. What is it that I need to let go of? You can write it, you can use your altar, you can express it, you can put it in a piece of art. Find your way of connecting with the full moon. So let's see what the cards, the feminine, the divine feminine, want to tell us for this full moon. Super full moon in Scorpio. The last full moon we have before going into eclipse season. Asking what is the message for the week? What do we need to know? Okay. We have the Black Madonna from the Divine Feminine, Our Lady of the Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. I think it's a beautiful message for this full moon. As I was saying, Scorpio can be very deep in the way it feels things. So if there is pain, if there is suffering, if there is anger, if there is frustration, disappointment, sadness, we can remember that we do have the capacity to transform it. And Scorpio, it's all about transformation, to transform it into a greater capacity to love. And from the Dharma cards from Buddha's wisdom for this week. We have card number 19, Discover Yourself. And it says like this: if you value yourself, then watch closely. Today and every day, meditate. Discover for yourself what is true, then encourage others to do the same. In order to fix the wrongs of the world, you must first do a more difficult thing: discover yourself. Beautiful. Discovering ourselves and remembering that we do have the power to transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. Anyone who's watching right now would like a reading, a card? Now it's the time for you to say so. Okay, I see nothing coming from your side. Thank you so much for watching. Remember the messages for the week. Have an amazing time, an amazing week. Many blessings for this full moon. May it bring to light everything that you need to see. And may you have the patience and the compassion to treat yourself with a lot of love during this period. See you next Monday.